Sairam students, let's begin with the class 8 geography. We are doing the chapter number 4 of geography, that is agriculture. Children, today we are learning the fourth part of this chapter. Now before coming to today's topic, let's go through the content of our chapter. We have already completed with the introduction. We have seen the farm system. Even you have learnt about the types of farming. You have already completed about the major crops in our last session. Before coming to today's topic, that is agricultural development, just we will have a quick recap of what we have learnt in our major crops. In our major crops topic, children, we have learnt about the major food crops, right? That is wheat, rice, maize and millets, right? We saw which type of soil is suitable for growing that particular crop, and even the countries, which countries grow it at the, which countries are the leading producers of that particular crop, right? This is what all we have seen for each and every major crops, that is wheat, rice, maize and millets. Then the next in that major crops, we have learnt about the fiber crops. The two important fiber crops that we have learnt here is jute and cotton, correct? We have seen that the jute was also known as the golden fiber, and we have seen the countries also, in which countries it's grown on a very large scale. Then after that we learnt about the beverage crops, that is apart the drinks only, but apart from the water, okay, that is coffee and tea. We learnt about the coffee plantation as well as the tea plantation, right? This is what we have completed in our previous session. Now in today's session we are going to learn about the agricultural development. Now from the term itself, children, you can understand it very well. We'll be learning about the how the development of agriculture activities can be done, right? Let's move to today's topic, agricultural development. The very first thing, let's understand the meaning of this term. Agricultural development refers to the efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. See why this agricultural development is essential, right? We know because the population is ever increasing, right? Similarly, the demands of the people also increases at that very faster scale. So to cope up with all that, the agricultural development is must. It refers to the efforts that are made to increase the farm production in order to meet farm production. If we are increasing, definitely the income will be more, correct? But then for what? It is in order to meet the growing demand of the increasing population. So one of the important topic here is to understand how this development can be achieved and why it is required to meet the growing demand of the increasing population. Now let's move to that topic. Now how this can be achieved, how that goal of development can be achieved. See what can be done in this. This can be achieved in many ways, such as the few are given to you here in this slide. Increasing the cropped area. The cropped area should be increased, then the crop cultivation will also, the output of the crops will definitely increase, right? And the number of crops grown, that should also be increased. So one of the method is increasing the cropped area, and another one is increasing the number of crops that are grown, and the most important, by improving the irrigation facilities. See, we have learned many crops, they require the heavy rainfall, but always it is not possible to wait for the rainfall, right? So it is only in the rainy season that can be done. So irrigation facilities should be such the water, there will be availability of water all the time, and then that helps in improving that agricultural activities. And the most important is use of fertilizers and high yielding variety of seeds. I think, children, you have learnt about HYV seeds, that is high yielding variety of seeds. Even the fertilizers should be used for the better agricultural cultivation. And another important point is here mechanization of agriculture. Mechanization of agriculture means the machines should be used in the agricultural fields. See, we know human labor. The labor is there. Farmers, they do the work for the whole day. But then too, if they use the machines there, even for that also the labor is required, definitely. But if the same work is done by the machines, that will be done at a very faster rate, and even the output will be more there. So children, we have seen here the different methods that should be achieved, that should be followed to increase the agricultural development. Well, the cropped area should be increased, the number of crops should be grown, the number of crops that are grown should be increased, and improving the irrigation facilities, even the use of fertilizers and high yielding variety of seeds. And another one is mechanization of agriculture. That is also an important aspect of agricultural development. But what is the ultimate aim of agricultural development? See children, here some of the images that has been given to you that is related to achieve the goal of the agricultural development. See here the irrigation, the sprinklers have been used in this image, and even instead of using the labor itself, the machines have been used, mechanization has been done, and the pesticides are spread here. Even the high yielding variety of seeds have been shown to you. So these all are the things that can be done to achieve the agricultural development. But what is the ultimate aim of agricultural development? Is to increase food security, right? Why there is a need of an agricultural development? So that the production will increase, and definitely there will be the food security for each and every person. Now, agriculture has developed at different places in different parts of the world. This is what we keep on learning about this. Like it has developed. If we'll compare about the ancient methods, it has really developed a lot. But how much is the development? How to understand that? See, developing countries with large populations, usually they practice intensive farming. You all have learnt about the intensive farming and the types of farming, right? Where crops are grown on small holdings, and mostly that is for the subsistence person, that is the farmer wants to meet his family needs. That is the intensive agriculture, right? He does that farming specially only for the needs or to meet the family's needs. This is done in the developing countries, whereas larger holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture. Larger holdings means where the land size is really much more. The countries which has got the larger size of this land, they can use a commercial agriculture, and you all know the meaning of commercial very well, that is for earning profit. See, developing countries, the population is more there, large population is there, and the holdings are very less. That is the reason they go for the intensive agriculture, because they first want to fulfill their family's needs. Then only they can sell it in the market, right? Whereas in the countries where the commercial agriculture takes place, that means commercial agriculture, ultimately the aim is to earn the profit only there. Okay, so the larger holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture. This can be done in the countries such as United States of America, Canada and Australia. Now, with the help of these two studies of farms, one from India and the other from the USA, we are going to understand about the agriculture in the developing country, that is our country India, and a developed country, that is the USA. So we'll be learning how the farm in India and how a farm in USA are there. So we will see the comparison of these two. Now before coming to that, food security exists when all people at all times have access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. So that is the main essential aim of the agricultural development, to have food security, right? It means each and every person should get the sufficient, safe and the nutritious food to meet their dietary needs, and also the food preferences for an active and healthy life. That is the ultimate aim, correct? Now we are going to learn the comparison of farm in India as well as a farm in USA. Now there is a small village Adilabad in Ghazipur district of Uttar Pradesh. We'll be learning about Munna Lal. This is a farmer, small farmer in this village who has farmland of about 1.5 hectares. His house is in the main village. He purchases What that Munna does, he purchases high yielding varieties of seeds from the market every alternate year. The land is fertile and he grows at least two crops in a year, which are normally wheat or rice and pulses. So the farmer takes advice of his, which farmer? That is Munna Lal. We are talking about the Munna Lal here now. The farmer takes advice of his friends and elders as well as government agricultural officers regarding what? Regarding farming practices, like which technology he should use to increase the agricultural cultivation. He takes the advice from his friends, elders, as well as from the government agricultural officers. Then he takes a tractor on rent for ploughing his field. Whereas though like some of his friends still they use the traditional method. You know very well the traditional method. What is the traditional method? That is by using bullocks for ploughing. Here in this image you can see the traditional method has been shown to you by using the bullocks for ploughing. There is a tube well in the nearby field which he takes on rent to irrigate his field. Even he pays a rent for the tube well also so that he could have the good irrigation facilities. Then he is also what Munna Lal has. He has two buffaloes and few hens with him. He sells milk in the cooperative store that is located in the nearby town. And even he is a member of the cooperative society which also advises him on the type of fodder that he could use for his animals as the safety measures to protect the health of the livestock and as well as for artificial insemination. So he is a member of the cooperative society. See, he has tried to have the development in his agricultural activities, right? Because he pays the rent for the tractor also. He pays the rent for the irrigation tube well also to have that in his field. Even what all the members of his family help in various farm activities. This you have learned in intensive farming, children. The whole family involves themselves in the farming activities. Sometimes he takes credit from a bank or the agricultural cooperative society. Why he takes the credit? To buy HYV seeds. Now in the previous slide only I explained you about the HYV seeds. That is high yielding variety of seeds and the implements. So he takes the credit also for purchasing all these things. But he sells his produce in the mandi that is located in the nearby town. But what is almost since majority of the farmers, see, they don't have the storage facility. So what they do, due to the lack of the storage facility, majority of the farmers, they are forced to sell the produce even when the market is not favorable to them. Like they can't wait when the market prices will be high. At that time they should sell their produce in the market because they don't have any storage facility. That is the reason whatever the rate is going on in the market, they have to sell it at that prices only because of the lack of storage facilities. But in recent years the government has taken some steps to develop the storage facilities. So this is what we have seen about the Munna Lal, right? And this is like the image has been given to you, the agricultural field in India. This is shown here in the image given here. Okay, now we will see the farm in the USA. Then we can decide how it is done. Now let's come to the next topic, that is the farm in the USA. Children, see the image has been given to you, that is of the farm in the USA. Now the average size of a farm in the USA is much larger than that of an Indian farm. If we'll compare the size of a farm, it is much more larger of the USA farmers. A typical farm size in the USA is about 250 hectares. The farmer generally resides in the farm. Some of the major crops grown are corn, soybean, wheat, cotton, and sugar beet. Now, here in this, we will be learning about the story of Horan, a farmer in the Midwest USA. In Iowa state, owns about 300 hectares of land. See the comparison now, okay? He grows corn on his field after making sure his that the soil and the water resources meet the needs of this crop. See, he grows corns on the field after making sure that the soil as well as the water resources should be according to the crop that he is going to cultivate. Even the adequate measures are taken to control the pest that can damage the crop. Then even they have the facilities like from time to time he sends the soil samples, where he sends to a soil testing laboratory. For what? To check whether the nutrients are sufficient or not, whether his soil is fertile or not. So accordingly, if the soil is not fertile, if the nutrients are not sufficient, then he will go for the pesticides. He can do that work then. This is what is done in the USA. The results, why he goes for this? The results help Joe Horan to plan a scientific fertilizer program. See, they have the scientific fertilizer program like this. This helps him to use chemical fertilizers and pesticides wherever they are required. You can see in the image the spray of pesticides is done in this way in USA, whereas in India you saw the image of the India also, it is in the different way, right? And this helps him to use the chemical fertilizers and pesticides whenever it is required according to the requirement. And even his computer is linked to the satellite to the which gives him a precise picture of his field. It is connected to the satellite. We will see that further how it is shown to them. Then even he uses tractors, seed drills, leveler, combined harvester and thresher to perform various agricultural operations. Children, in this image you can see the mechanized harvesting in the USA, that is with the helps of machine it is done. They use the tractors, they use the seed drills, they use a leveler for the field, they even use the combined harvester and thresher to perform various agricultural operations. Now in this image here you can see the first one shows you grains are stored in the automated grain storage. See, they are not forced to sell the grains whenever immediately after the produce, because they have got the sufficient storage. They can wait for the markets to have a good rates in the market, then only they will be selling it. So grains are stored in the automated grain storage, or even it will be dispatched to the market agencies directly. And even in the second image you can see here the satellite has been linked to his computer to have a precise understanding about his field. And that is the reason it has been told like the farmer in USA works like a businessman and not like a peasant farmer. See, looking at the mechanization, looking at the technology, children, we will say, definitely we will say, yes, the farmer in USA, they work like a businessman and not like a peasant farmer. Correct? We will all agree with this statement. So you may get this question here, why the farmer in USA works like a businessman and not like a peasant farmer? Because the technology, the mechanization, the facilities that the peasant farmer have in the USA is really very good. That is the reason they are like a businessman. Okay. So now children, we have completed with our topic here, agricultural development. Let's have a quiz time here now. This year quiz is related to the third presentation, that is we learnt about the types of major crops as well as the agricultural development. Third and fourth presentation combined quiz has been given to you here. Which of the following are the coarse grains? You have learnt about the coarse grains in your previous slide, right? Is that Jowar? Is that Bajra? Is that Ragi? or all of these? What is the answer for this? Coarse grains means you all know very well. It has the fine texture. Apart from the wheat and rice, we will talk about the other grains that are there in the coarse grain. So all of these are included in the coarse grains. Golden fiber refers to which crop? Now let's see. Is it a jute, or is that a cotton, or is that a tea or coffee? Yes, I hope you know very well it's a jute, correct? Yeah. Moving to the next question now. Which of the following countries practice commercial agriculture? I explained you just now which of the countries will be experiencing commercial agriculture. Is that India, our country, or is it Bangladesh, or is that Bhutan, or is that USA? Yes, USA is the country which is practicing commercial agriculture. That is for the profit earning. Which type of soil is good for growing wheat? Is that the loamy soil? Is that the sandy soil? Is that the clay soil, or none of these? Yes, for growing wheat, the loamy soil is the suitable soil. The farmer in USA works like a businessman and not like a peasant farmer. Do you all agree with me? Is it a true or false? Yes, just now we have seen the farmer in USA works like a businessman, right? So it's true. So children, we will have a quick recap. We have learnt about the agricultural development in today's session, and we have seen the comparison on the developing countries and the developed countries. So here the example of the developing country was given as India, and the developed country was taken as USA. We saw the farm in India and we saw the farm in USA. So here we have completed with our chapter today, agriculture chapter. So children, go through the presentation, read the chapter, mark each and every point. Then we will be continuing with the next. In the next session, we will be starting with a new chapter. Go through this presentation, children. Till then, see you in the next session. Take care, children. Thank you so much.